And welcome to North Sydney Oval, round 4 of the Optus Cup. The Bears and the Steelers to do battle. Both sides finding themselves on the losing side of the ledger last weekend. The Steelers running from right to left. Paul McBlain, the referee for this match. And a few late changes as well. Greg Florimo brings the ball back. Playing in the forward pack, both David Fairley and Gary Larson out of the North Sydney starting lineup. And for the Steelers, they've lost their halfback, Glenn Eyre. Will Robinson, the replacement in the Steelers side. And a bit of a reshuffle for the Bears. And right now on their 30-metre line with Josh Stewart. Not a big crowd by any means for this round 4 match on Easter Saturday. Now Billy Moore making 5 metres. Scott Cram was up there first in jumper 11. Very impressive player last week in the loss to St George. Now Taylor gets a kick from his own 30-metre line. And the Bears running with the aid of the breeze in the first half off the chest of Reeves. So play on. And Reeves 5 metres shy of halfway. Will Robinson, the 24. It's Craig Smith. Inside the Bears half. And those changes, Paul Vaughton. Will Robinson, been a long while since we've seen him in first grade. Former Rabbitoh, former Tiger.
Yeah, he's a very handy footballer, though. He gets a chance now in the top grade with the Steelers as the ball goes wide through the backs.
Right now, Timmins straightened up. Sean Timmins, there was an injury cloud over Paul McGregor, the Steelers captain, coming into this match as well. Robinson, wider here for Bradstreet. On the Bears 20. And a 3-man tackle. It is the last now for the Steelers and a first chance to really apply some pressure. The kickers with Barrett. The ball will fall for Roy and Sears. 3 jump high. Here's a chance for the Steelers. That's a try. Brendan Reeves gets there first. Well, the North Sydney side, there were 3 players all as one jumping for the ball, and they've come up empty-handed, 4-0.
And this is a great advantage. They're running into this very stiff breeze, Illawarra, and the ball always tends to just hang there and even possibly come back towards the attacking team. It's a big bonus when you're putting up high kicks like that, but that was some sloppy football. No cover defence there from the North Sydney players. There's 100 of them going for it, and no one decided to drop back and cover any mistakes. And well done to the Steelers. A big breakthrough for them early.
Right now with Rod Wishart. Leading point scorer currently in the ARL with 36. From 12 metres out. And successful. So great start for the Steelers. Get 6-0. Steve Roach on the sideline.
Gee, they're quiet at the moment, North. I know that they've lost their 2 experienced players in Gary Larson and David Fairley, but I would have thought it was a perfect opportunity for the likes of Trindle and Josh Stewart to really take them on, and it's been some soft defence from North Sydney to start this match.
Brad Mackay, in the previous play, we saw Scott Cram hitting it up. Very impressive youngster, only 20 years of age, a local junior. Now Bradstreet. And Bradstreet, a Manly junior. Robinson, diving pass for Smith. Short pass there for McGregor. And upended in the tackle. Last play for the Steelers. Barrett from inside the 40. That's off the side of the boot. This will be a changeover. 35 out from the Steelers line. And that might rock the confidence of the young pivot, the Illawarra Steelers. Quick changeover as well. Stewart. Centre field. Reba. For Caruana. He stood back and waited. Smith was the tackler. Now on the Steelers 20 with Taylor. Running to the line and then linking with Florimo. Looking a little slicker right now, the North Sydney Bears. Working the short side. Caruana heavily involved in the opening to this match. Back for Reba. Mark Reba takes off. Just a metre short of the try line. All the players to the left. Florimo, long ball for Taylor. Then the pass for Buechner. He holds the pass up and inside. And McGregor is there to clean up on Matt Sears. Last tackle for North Sydney. In search of their first points, Taylor kicking across. Roy is there if he can catch. Oh, that is spectacular from the Bears. What a try to North Sydney. Well, Roy, that's the most acrobatic thing I think we'll see all year.
We saw some great hands last night by some of the Newcastle lads, but this is spectacular stuff from Nigel Roy. He's a former Steeler. He'll love this one. There's plenty of space out here for Jason Taylor to kick to. It's 1-on-1, and watch him go. Oh, that'd be a skill. They would have practiced that at training, possibly in a bit of a G-up, maybe after a hard run. And here it is during a game. It's paid off. Good stuff and good support play too. for North to score that try. Caruana, he's having a good game early in this match.
His corresponding game last year, Jason Taylor, impeccable, 8 from 8. And it was on a day not unlike this one in terms of the weather, fairly breezy. It really was one of the most impressive kicking displays we've seen. You won't get a tougher kick than this one from the sideline. He hasn't struck it all that well, and just across the face, Jason Taylor. 6-4 to the Steelers. Wishart, the restart for the Illawarra Steelers. 2-point game. Trying to Brendan Reeves early for the Steelers. And the 4-pointer to Chris Caruana for the Bears. Reba has been instrumental in turning this side around over the last 5 or 6 minutes. Trindle just short of the 30-metre line for North Sydney. Leading the hit-ups for the Bears so far. That time it was his front row partner Stewart. Moore heading back in field. Mackay went over the top. Smith was down below. Florimo, short pass inside. Reba stepping. Bradstreet hangs on in the tackle with Callaway. 5 up for the Bears. Taylor positions himself inside the 40. The kick, a bouncing one to Clifford. Geez, not getting much distance though, is he, Jason Taylor?
Well, he's used to seeing Jason Taylor put them 50 metres through the air. I mean, that one, Fairnickham couldn't crack it for 25.
And now Will Robinson. Smith comes into a shoulder there. The Bears hunting up. Will Lation was first man in. Now Cram. Now the North side are getting on song. Trindle and Josh Stewart were there in the tackle. Barrett. Nice pass across for Timmins. Around the outside of Caruana. The kick in field for Clifford. Sears is there. He's missed it. Covered up by Butner.
A great piece of skill there from Sean Timmins. When he got on the outside of his man, he saw that he was going nowhere. He knew he had support back on the inside and put that little kick in.
North Sydney right on the red stripe, the 40-metre line. Reba making another 5 or 6 metres. Smith, the tackler. Soden probably still a week away from returning. Josh Stewart inside the Illawarra half. Well, let's watch what Taylor has to provide on this last tackle. He rifles this kick straight to Clifford. Well, it's like a magnet to Wayne Clifford. He links up with Brendan Reeves. Taylor just not on his kicking game at the moment. Robinson for Rodwell. Quiet to start this match, Brett Rodwell. Callaway working for Mackay. Quick hand for Bradstreet. Just inside the North Sydney half. Steelers with Robinson. Then for Smith. Kiwi born. He's been playing in the competition now in his third club. Canterbury Souths and now the Steelers. There's Barrett for McGregor. The fend not quite working this time. And no surprise that there are 3 players there to shovel him over the sideline. It'll be a penalty to the Steelers.
Yes, had to be a penalty. I could even hear the referee called held from up here. We're about 3 miles away. A good strong tackle, but right there, that's where the tackle has stopped. He's going nowhere, McGregor. They went on with it.
Only their second chance of the match to get inside the Bears 20. Bradstreet is 5 short of that mark. The liners to the left. They've got a number of the forwards standing out in the centres. Robinson for Barrett. Now Cram is there on his outside. Rodwell comes in as the second man. Read by the North Sydney defence, Taylor and Florimo. Reeves for Mackay. 15 out from the Bears line. Callaway. Slick service for Barrett. Didn't run the football a great deal against the Dragons last Saturday. Trent Barrett. Robinson for McGregor. Stepping but stumbling in the process. They've used up 5 tackles, the Steelers. Robinson here for Timmins. Then a flat pass for Clifford. Did he force the ball? Wayne Clifford in the corner. A committee meeting. It's a try. Well, that looked all a little too easy on the last. Wayne Clifford has scored for the Illawarra Steelers. 10-4.
Well, it's a dead set game of touch at the moment. There's not much here. There's a little bit of space on the outside. The North Sydney winger just went in a little bit too far, Nigel Roy, and he gave his opposite just a cakewalk into the line. Marker down there. There's 1 man less in that defensive line. And really, they had the numbers. They just had to drift out And some ordinary defence there from North Sydney.
So Wishart, 3 tries and 13 goals for the season. From the sideline, this looks pretty good from Rod Wishart. Will it have the legs? It doesn't. Unsuccessful from Rod Wishart. But it is a 6-point lead to this Illawarra side, 10-4. As I said, I think the try just came all too easy, really. Sean Timmins haven't really decided on what is his best position. He's played some good games in the back row. He's played 5/8 end in the centres.
Well, that's right. He's one of those players, a utility player, lock, 5/8 or centre, and he's very good, very adept at playing all three. He's got the ball in his hands right now.
Comment on North Sydney from Steve Roach.
Yeah, well, the Steelers, or North Sydney, are making it pretty easy for the Steelers. You're just wrapping Timmins in his defence. They're not coming up, and when they've got the football, they're too flat, running off the passes like Taylor, passing to someone else in a position not better than themselves.
Cram. There he is again. Oh, big pass from Cram for Rodwell. Back it comes for Callaway. Now the chase is on to number 9. Callaway's 5 out and gets there. Slams it down, Dean Callaway. They'll check with the in-goal judge, McLean. That is a super try, but what about the pass from Scott Cram?
Oh, what a pass. They're on fire, the Steelers. They're playing great football this afternoon at North Sydney. Let's have a look here. It's a simple take-up. Now, Cram, he actually gets through the line as Mr. Freeze goes into action there. Let's have a look. The defence is all up here, and Rodwell gets it. A beautiful ball, and away he goes. And the support comes up on here, and then away goes Callaway. It's a try. Great stuff by Illawarra. Look at this, Callaway. And who would have thought that a hooker would have had the pace to outstrip Buettner?
Oh, Mr. Squiggle.
Mr. Freeze. And does he get it down? Well, let's have a look at this one from front on. Very interesting. But here's this man, Cram. Is it Cram?
It is Cram.
Of course it's Cram. He's been to the Blocker School of Ball Handling. And so is Rodwell. Of course, Rodwell normally a centre, now playing in the back row. And Callaway, a beautiful fend on Buettner. Let's have a look if he gets the ball down properly. Yeah, good stuff.
Dean Callaway. Again, another look at forcing the football. There it is. Then with his head. What about you with the pencil? Rod Wishart. 18 metres out. Oh, what a lead this is into the breeze. Unsuccessful, that kick. But Illawarra, they lead by 10. Saturday afternoon football from Bear Park. Tony Williams there, the tackle on Rodwell. Last tackle. This time Barrett gets himself inside the 40. Straight down the centre of the park, though. One bounce for Matt Sears. And now Sears trying to step, but not a whole lot doing there as he was taken by Cross. David Hall, former Origin player, played one match in Fatty's mighty year of 95. Williams inside the Steelers half. Reba. Now the pass. Williams has to take another hit up. 2 in 3. Reba for Billy Moore. Trying to go through the centre. Now inside the 30, but it's been a set of 6 that has lacked any sort of imagination. Taylor, a switch of play for Buettner. Now the chip for Michael Buettner. The Bears, can they get a roll on? They can't. The ball ends up over the sideline. We'll wait from the call from both referee and touch judge.
Just to see who kicked this ball out. It was a desperate situation there for Illawarra, and Rod Wishart doesn't like the decision, because this will be a North Sydney feed. John Cross there arguing.
Well, I think he's probably complaining that it was a loose ball from North Sydney on the last. In which case the kick became irrelevant if they didn't get any advantage. But the referee has ruled, and he's ruled entirely on the basis of the findings of the touch judge. So perhaps a turning point for the first half. The Bears are spread back to halfway. Taylor. Michael Buettner. Now with Eichen. Eichen. Timmins was up there. He's missed him that time. Ben Eichen showing some strength inside for Roy. Nigel Roy, was that a double movement? No doubt about it. Nigel Roy couldn't resist the temptation.
Some beautiful work there from Benny Eichen. He's done so well. Then Roy on the end of this. A great cover there from the lock forward in Rodwell. and the referee said he'd stopped. He'd been stopped there and short, and he lunged over. So double movement, correct decision.
Close call though. Nigel Roy would be in that situation arguing that his momentum had never been stopped. As Mackay comes back. Now Wishart, where he could be very dangerous or clipped across. Rather high there. Taylor and Fritz were in to make the tackle. Now Smith, back from a stint on the bench inside the Bears half. Cross. Mackay kicking inside the North Sydney 20. And it's with David Hall. Will Robinson, first man there, making the tackle. He's done his job, Will Robinson, in this first half. It's Billy Moore taken ball and all by Paul McGregor. An abrupt end to that run.
Two North Sydney forwards who aren't letting the side down are Billy Moore and Josh Stewart. Been involved in plenty of defence, 13 and 14 tackles respectively, and plenty of hit-ups as well. Josh Stewart gets a rest now.
Caruana a little closer to the action. Taylor, Butner, nice hands for Florimo. Trying to hurdle his way through. Still going, Greg Florimo. 35 out from the Illawarra line. Playing his 250th great game today for the Bears, Greg Florimo. Floating pass, Moore for Williams. It is the last play. Batted on there from Lation. It's play on now for the Bears. Ball flicked back inside. It breaks down again for North Sydney. And crosses back with it for the Steelers. It's just not their day inside the Steelers 20. They have had their chances. They've had more chances than Illawarra had. 3 tries to 1 though. Clifford is one of the Steelers try scorers. And easy meters for Wayne Clifford. He made 10. Bradstreet. Just over the 30-metre line. John Cross kicking now almost exclusively is the job for Brad Mackay. That is a big kick from Mackay into the breeze. Some 50 or 60 metres on the fly. Sears is back with it. Inside for Nigel Roy. Now Sears again. But plenty of North Sydney players still just walking back. Left with more to get back. Jenny Williams, who's trapped on the 30-metre line. Again, we say it's just a very flat-looking North Sydney side. Quick hands that time. And a chance for Eichen, who is really stretching out. Benny Eichen, kick and chase now. He's been taken out of the play by Brendan Reeves. Well, not really a cause for a penalty try, but I'm sure we'll have Reeves in the sin bin. Surely.
Well, at least it's a penalty, and also the touch judge is in. Someone will get the bin here for sure. They've got it. Brendan Reeves. A great bust from Benny Eichen. Reeves getting called out. He's really come to life in the last 10 minutes, Ben Eichen. Been involved heavily in the match.
Well, it has to be sin bin, surely. The most professional of professional fouls. Look, it wasn't a high tackle. And there he goes. So they've got it right. They took their time, but the decision is the right one. The reason I say no need for a penalty try, because there were plenty of Steelers chases and only Ben Eichen looking to retrieve that football. Let's stick with the action. North Sydney. It is time for points. They trail by 10. And still 5.5 out from half-time. The Bears. Installation, is it? 5 metres out from the line. Penalty here. Well, they might be getting another player to the bin if they don't watch out. The Steelers. Quick tap. Taken by Lation, who spins. 4 Illawarra defenders there. Slow play the ball. Reba for Fritz. He juggles. Darren Fritz. He was taken in the tackle of Adam Bristow. Reba again. They need some quick service. More. This is more like it. Florimo. He held up the pass. Robinson was there and then throws a pass out the back. Sears. They've lost 25 metres. Someone has to steer the ship. There's no rudder there. Moore. Cross makes the tackle. 22 metres out. Reba. Taylor. Inside Caruana. But they've lost whatever drive they had on this set of 6. 5 tackles used up. They're against the 12-man outfit now. Taylor kicks across for Roy. Will he try the trick again? He can't even get to it. It's out on the full.
Well, I haven't seen that for a long time. They got a quick tap, 2 metres out from the Illawarra line, end up on the 5th tackle, 15 metres out. And they can't crack this Illawarra defence. Andrew Farrer, he's the new Illawarra coach. He's been in the lower grades for a couple of seasons with South Queensland and then the Steelers. He must be so proud of his players into this breeze. They're defending like demons.
Mackay that time got them to the 30. Now Barrett. Big hands there. Robinson. Rodwell. Timmins. Standing there. Back. Put down by Cross. North Sydney will get another chance before half-time. I'd like to know the stat of possession inside your opponent's half. It'll be heavily weighted in North Sydney's favour.
Well, I think the Steelers have been down in North's half 3 times, and they've scored 3 tries.
There's 3 minutes out from half-time. Darren Fritz gets them to win, or Fritzy, 10 metres out from the line. Now Lation. Well, Lation, he's got this habit of getting to the line and then spinning, and it's proving effective. Right in front of the Steelers' posts. Reba to the left with Billy Moore. Inside ball for Eichen, and the defence is swarming there from the Steelers. Smith came up. Ball and all stuff from Illawarra. Taylor. Butner. Sears angled inside, then Florimo with a juggling effort. How did he hang on to that one? Robinson made the tackle. Arawana. Taylor. Then Williams. They're getting close. Did he slip that ball? And they have lost it again, North Sydney.
Well, that was a shame for North Sydney. There was a chance there if Taylor had thrown a cutout. I know it's easy up in the stand here, but there was a chance there for a cutout pass to a man running into fresh air for a try. Just have a look. You'll see Danny Williams there. Look on the outside of Danny Williams. Fresh air there. It would have been a try for the Bears, but Taylor just missed it.
Now Will Robinson, Timmins. There's not a player in this Illawarra side who hasn't done their job in this first half. Reminder, they're playing with 12 men at the moment. Brendan Reeves in the sin bin. Mackay has lost that in the tackle. It wasn't stripped. Fritz is with it. So, inside the final 2 of the first half. And for the 3rd time, we say yet another chance for the Bears. Nigel Roy, away from Clifford. Timmins was the tackler. Reba, Florimo, Taylor, then on, Billy Moore. Wider for Eichen. Good hands for Paul. Paul is forced to come back infield. Denny Williams. Butner. Can they find a gap in the Illawarra defence? They can't.
Well, they're down to 12, the Steelers. Wishart put a shoulder charge on Eichen. They're both down.
Wishart looks in a lot of trouble as well as it comes for Florimo. They've, in fact, I think, called for the stretcher for Rod Wishart.
Well, he's done his Rocky. The Rocky bowler's gone.
So it's play on at the moment. McBlain may be forced to call a stop to play, though, with the stretcher going to come on. Butner now throws the pass for Lation. Lation, the ball has come loose and the Steelers are with it. Smith comes up with the ball, but now it is time off.
Well, it's bedlam out there. There's trainers, there's doctors, there's all sorts of people out there. Wishart hasn't moved. He put this big shoulder charge on Eichen, and he went straight down. Been a great player for the Steelers, Rod Wishart. And Eichen, he's suffering as well.
Let's watch it again.
Here it is now. Here's Wishart. He comes in, bang, there on Eichen, and goes straight down. Just at the feet of Matt Sears.
So a very sorry sight for the Steelers and for Rod Wishart. The last we've seen of him for this match, and it could be for some time. We'll get a report after half-time from Steve Roach. Ben Eichen has gone off the field on the far side of the ground, so some key changes to the personnel of both teams. Cross over the 30-metre line. And that's overshadowed the fact that North Sydney squandered another chance on the attack inside the Steelers' 20. I mean, they've had 4 or 5 in the last 10 minutes of the half. Here's Brad Mackay inside the North Sydney half. 6 seconds remaining in the first half. John Cross back to Barrett. Kicking a low one this time. Sears has had a lot to do from the back. It's gone over his shoulder. Porter is with it for North Sydney. 10 out from his own line. Siren about to sound. Been a disappointing half from the home team. Nigel Roy, last play of the half. So, 3 tries to 1 in the first 40 minutes. Impressive stuff from the Steelers. The pain on the face of Ben Eichen. 14-4. We'll take a break from Bear Park. Welcome back to North Sydney Oval. The Bears, the home team, in real trouble, down by 10. And we start this second half with Illawarra, 12 men on the field. Brendan Reeves has a couple of minutes still to spend in the sin bin. And just before half-time, we saw both Ben Eichen and Rod Wishart leave the field. Well, Ben Eichen has returned, but Rod Wishart, who was stretchered off, is out of the game. Brendan Horville is his replacement. Right now, Brad Mackay, an excellent first half from Brad Mackay. There's Ben Eichen on screen. Craig Smith, the Steelers side, still a healthy breeze behind them for this second half. A great advantage for them. Bradstreet. Taken over the top there by Will Lation. Had a solid first set of 6 to start this half. Mackay, his kicking game has been good as well. This one rifled for touch and finds it. So a 30-metre gain from Brad Mackay to start the second half. Let's find out what was said in the rooms at the break. Steve Roach.
Well, firstly, the injury to Rod Wishart is a dislocated shoulder. He'll be out from 4 to 6 weeks. Andrew Farrer for the Steelers, he was pretty happy. He said Norths are there for the taking, but we must work hard in the yardage department in the second half. He said he paid plenty of attention for good scrambling from the Illawarra side, especially Sean Timmins' effort in the first half. He said, be mindful of Florimo on the inside. He's the only one that's really causing us trouble at the moment. For the Bears, Peter Louie, very disappointed. He named their defence very soft. He said, we've got to mark up in the marker play, make sure that we number up, because they've scored a couple of tries when we've been less on the numbers. And he said, look, it's easy to say that we missed the likes of Fairley and Larson. He said, but it's up to us to get us out of the run in the first half. He said, we've had our chances, we've got to improve our last pass, and if we do, we can still win this game.
Sydney Reba, short pass there for Josh Stewart. His stats still fairly impressive from that first half. 9 hit-ups, 14 tackles. Billy Moore met by Brad Mackay. On stats from the first half, he's close enough to the top tackler with 15. Taylor, switch of play. He was creamed after passing it by Mackay. Trindle tries to wrestle his way through. Now 35 metres out from the Steelers line. Reba. A spark from dummy half. There was a Steelers hand there. Tackle count has restarted with Billy Moore. 25 out from the Illawarra line. Different ball game if they can score in this set of 6 straight after half-time. Taylor, the inside pass. Bradstreet read the play, was able to make the tackle. Reba, Butner. He tried the step. He runs straight into Barrett. No sign of a step. Reeves sprinting back from the sin bin. It comes for Lation. He had to stop to catch the pass. And Bradstreet is there with another tackle. 5 out from the Illawarra line. Taylor, a 2-step, and then Florimo. Eichen is taken close to the touchline on tackle number 5. Wade Horder of the dummy half. Florimo kicking to the uprights. Now the chase is coming through from Caruana, but Timmins went up high. He wanted to continue play. We'll come back to the 20 for the restart.
Yeah, great work from Sean Timmins, having a great game here this afternoon. North's only had 2 players on the other side of the goalpost. And then 3 or 4 chases there from the Bears, with a beautiful catch.
They've got this 10-point lead. They've scored 3 tries, and Paul McGregor, their star centre, has been fairly quiet.
I do know, Andrew, he came into this game with an injury cloud. He's got a bad knee, and I reckon he's just out there guiding them through this. He is the skipper. He's doing his job, but it's not the brilliant Paul McGregor we normally see. Here he goes now, offloads.
Barrett. And through the hands of Timmins, they've made another error, the Steelers. And North Sydney get another chance, and they get a penalty too. One of the Bears players was taken out of the action. And a quick restart with Caruana. Mackay makes the tackle. 18 tackles now for Brad Mackay. 30 metres out from the Steelers line. Going the blind side was Roy for another 5 metres. Well, surely they have to crack the Steelers line eventually. And 15 out. Reba. Surely he won't have the thoughts of running from dummy half again either. Taylor, second man play. Florimo, read by Robinson, who made light work of the tackle. Sears, Taylor, chance on the right side. Butner trying to straighten up the attack. And again, this sliding defence, they ended up with 3 making the tackle when they looked short in numbers. Taylor, last tackle. That crossfield kick for Eichen, it's a little too deep. And Horval this time does the job at the back for the Steelers.
Very great defence there from Illawarra. It's their day-to-day, it would seem. Even that was just a kick from Taylor, not enough height to give his players time to get under that.
Well, Eichen had positioned himself wide enough for the kick to come across, but Taylor just didn't get the length on the kick. So Illawarra are back with it, but they have made 2 errors in this part of the field in the last few chances they've had with the football. Bradstreet wrestled there by Ben Eichen. Across. Away with Tunbridge. He's lost the football. 3rd time. North Sydney. Turnover. Sears. Taylor. Now Butner. With some room to move. Michael Butner. Back for Caruana. Held up by Tunbridge. 35 out from the Steelers line. Sears. That pass across for Moore. There's the short pass and put down by Stewart. Kicked through by Reba. And McLean had played the advantage for inside the 10. Well, that's a slice of luck for the North Sydney Bears.
Jason Taylor's having a kick at goal. The funny thing is, in the first half, they could have had 3 or 4 shots at goal from penalties, and they didn't. I don't blame them. 14-4 right have done the same, gone for the try. But now I think they're just getting desperate for points. And this is testimony, you know, to the Illawarra defence. North Sydney having all sorts of trouble getting through it. Good refereeing from McLean, just playing that advantage, letting it go on. They're always offside.
So Taylor, from 24 metres out, a kick that he was a long odds-on favourite last year to get, but this year not so certain. Taylor drives that one between the uprights. It's 14 points to 6 at Bear Park. Weaver spinning from dummy half. Kai again, first man in the tackle on Billy Moore. Florimo running one out. Can arrive late on the scene on the left. Reba. This time he gets some ground with Trindle. Then it comes back for Sears. Good play from North Sydney, straight through the centre. 25 metres out from the Illawarra line. A rare time in this match that they've strung together a few passes. Florimo. Butner. He steps and jinks. It's still on. Billy Moore gets the pass back. Well, it just slipped out of his hands and fell nicely. 5 out from the line, last tackle. Caruana. He was held down in the tackle. Taylor. Through the hands again. Reba and Sears. McGregor makes the tackle. Sears has scored. That's a try to Matt Sears. Well, the Bears, they're coming back. Matt Sears scored the try in a 2-man tackle from the Steelers.
Yes, he got it down all right in the end, Matt Sears. On this occasion, Illawarra is just not capable of holding them out. Here's the ball here. Now here's Sears. It's 3-on-2, but he takes them on. If he passes, it's a definite try. Takes them on, 2 of them, and bangs it down there. So the Bears storming back now. They're getting a bit of possession. Illawarra have turned over the ball quite a deal in their second half, and they're starting to put something together. Really, I mean, Matt Sears only a little bloke. He's strong down the bottom, though, and he drove his legs. They went high and couldn't contain him.
8 from 8 in the corresponding game last year. Jason Taylor back towards his best fall. 14-12 now, just 2 the difference. Back in North Sydney Oval, we have the ball game. And that kickoff has gone dead. Out on the full, back to halfway, a North Sydney penalty. Well, Steve Roach on the sideline, things are really turning. We'll hear from Steve in a moment. Just checking with the Steelers bench at the moment, actually, Steve. But it's been the Illawarra mistakes that is letting the Bears back into this game. Taylor will look for the line. Makes a 20-metre gain. 9-2 the penalties. Reba. Here for Josh Stewart. The Steelers, if North Sydney score here, the Steelers will be saying, what the heck has gone wrong? Are in control at 14-4. Billy Moore. Mackay is first man there with his second row partner. Cram, they can't put him down. Reba. 5 metres out from the line. Taylor is trying to position himself on the right side of the ruck. Florimo. Taylor is with it. He has support in Trindle. He's taken out by Rodwell. Taylor, that is. On the Steelers' 10-metre line. Florimo. Lation is there in support. Florimo was able to limp through the tackle of Cross. Reba is in a dummy half. Jason Taylor. Butner. Running straight at the line. Can't link up with the support, and that is 5 tackles. Billy Moore. High pass for Taylor. Kicking across field, attacking the wingers. I think Roy may have been offside, but it doesn't matter as the Steelers diffusing the situation. That time Clifford. Taylor ran through from where he put the ball through to put his teammates onside.
Yeah, good aggressive take there from Clifford. And now he goes for another run. So all the Steelers doing their job, but they've slackened off. And now a knock on from Clifford.
Oh, what has gone wrong? The Steelers, in this second half, they've crashed and burned with as far as possession goes. May have been the knee of a North Sydney player that knocked it out of Clifford's hands, but his job is to hang on to the football. North Sydney. Butner. A dummy there to Caruana. Selects Sears, and Reeves made the tackle. Now Horder. Taken quite easily, really, by the defence. He ran the short side. All his teammates were to the right. Taylor trying to burrow his way through that time. Reba. Florimo running up and taken by the markers. He's been caught in possession a number of times, Greg Florimo. Reba. Taylor. Long ball for Butner. Sears is on his inside. He's with it now, Matt Sears. 5 out from the line. Reba. Lation. Stepping off the left foot. Will Lation. Did he get there or was he short? No try. Oh, Will Lation. That's as close as you'll get.
Oh, how close did he go? A knock on. So the Steelers off the hook again. But they've fallen apart, the Steelers. Here's Lation. He's had a pretty quiet game, but he's getting to the action here and drops it. Desperation defence from the Steelers saved that try. Nice tackle from Cram. Brought him down a fraction short.
And Rodwell breaks from the scrum. Illawarra, their job at the moment is just to complete a set of 6. It's Cross. Good ground from John Cross, made 15 metres. Will Robinson. Trent Barrett. Skips out Mackay with a pass. Timmins. Clifford. Clifford. It's up to halfway. One of the 3 Illawarra try scorers today, Wayne Clifford. Rodwell away for Robinson. Trent Barrett slips on the cricket pitch here at North Sydney Oval. Still rock hard from a summer of predominantly great cricket here at North Sydney as McGregor throws for Timmins. 40 metres out from the North Sydney line. 5 tackles used up by the Steelers. Oh, difficult pass for Reeves to take. He tries the centre field bomb. Probably not a bad tactic as Sears is there and gets it. Good take from Matt Sears. He is leading the revival for North Sydney in the second half. Blocker is back on the sideline.
Well, Illawarra think the breeze is going to do it for them. They were told at half-time they still would have to roll up their sleeves and make their hard yards, just handing over the football far too much. What about the game from Greg Florimo in the second half? The veteran really leading the way, playing in his 250th game. Outstanding, Florimo.
Yeah, Greg Florimo, 250 grade games, 240 of those in first grade. Here is Reba. Taylor. Up and over halfway. Butner's dropped it and it turns over here for Rodwell. It is Adam Bristow. A mistake early on the tackle count from the Bears when they had the momentum. Orville, or rather Tunbridge, is the man tackled. 35 out now from the Bears line. Robinson. McGregor. A little closer to the action, Paul McGregor. Stepping away from a couple. The right arm pass. Rodwell. Taken there by Stewart. Just a delight to watch Paul McGregor when he starts stepping and then can offload as well. And he has taken it upon himself here to lift the Steelers back to what they displayed in the first half. 5 tackles, Robinson to Timmins. Timmins is taken down. Great work there by the North Sydney centres, or rather it was Greg Florimo out wide. So adding to what Blocker said, that was superb play from Greg Florimo making the tackle.
When you're under pressure, the great players lift, and Greg Florimo has been a stalwart here at North Sydney for many, many years. In form, he's probably their best player, and he's in form today.
Taylor is screaming at his troops to regroup, to be ready to attack from the first play. Reba. Ball held up by Timmins. Handling errors, that counters really climbed since half-time. This is Trindle. 5 short of halfway. Taylor. Inside runner was Lation. Will Lation is through for the Bears. Where is the support? It's there now in Taylor. And Taylor will have enough toe. Big try for North Sydney. The Bears have hit the front. There was a 2-man act. Taylor and Lation.
Yeah, good stuff from Jason Taylor. Hasn't run the football too much today. Here he goes now. As he frees it there, let's have a look. They've already burst through the defence. And then as play rolls on, Taylor just backs up beautifully. A good bust from Lation. Not much Steelers defence there, is there? The team that's desperate to hang on, leading 14-12. And a good try to the Bears and Jason Taylor. Beautiful ball and good running from Lation. A missed tackle there from Darren Bradstreet. And Taylor has the necessary pace to get over.
So Jason Taylor to convert his own try right in front. Came into today with 22 points for the season. There's another 2. The Bears are up by 4. 18-14. Back here at Bear Park. What a change to this match since half-time. Illawarra, their own worst enemies with errors. Fritz comes back, a former Steeler. Tried to leap into the tackle, Darren Fritz. Now Billy Moore. It's been, we've said, the players like Moore and Florimo, who were going well when the side was going bad, that have just kept on the case for North Sydney, that's kept them in this match. Now Lation tries his luck again, straight through the centre. This time Taylor has dropped it. Or perhaps they're not the star duo just yet, Lation and Taylor. Putting the pass down, Jason Taylor, and that one inside their own half. Bradstreet looks headed off to the blood bin here for Illawarra. Brendan Tunbridge comes back into the play. Famous name for Manly, the Bradstreet name, Billy Bradstreet from many years ago.
Yeah, he played a test in 1966 from the Eagles team. Pretty good lock forward in his day.
Here's Barrett. Barrett is away with a couple of fens. Let's watch the pace of the young 5'8". Trent Barrett, he gets over the try line. Can he force the football? He has it. Held up in goal. Super play from both teams.
Well, I've heard a lot about this kid. This is the first glimpse that he's shown in this game of top form. He's had a fair game, but look at him go now. Trent Barrett, a nice dummy, gets through the Buechner tackle, pushes off Eichen, a great fend, and then wings it for the line. Oh, that's great defence though from Nigel Roy.
And that was Roy off the opposite wing getting across as well. It's still on for the Steelers. McGregor. Eichen and Buechner are there for the tackle. 10 out from the North Sydney line. Timmins from dummy half. Buechner makes a double. 18-14 to the Bears. Barrett. Confidence up, and the Tunbridge was in support and put it down. I think he was probably going to be the decoy and ended up with a football.
Just when they look good, the Steelers, all falls apart for them. Took his eyes off the football, Tunbridge, and then kicked it over.
So Rodwell, well, he's not stretched it off, but he's assisted from the field, and he's in no good shape there, Brett Rodwell. We'll just recap on the lower grades from today. 2 draws, as a matter of fact. 12 all, the Bears and the Steelers. In the under-20s, And second grade, 18 all. There was a field goal late in the match attempted by the Steelers, but it was touched in flight. That saved the day, just the fingertips. So North Sydney are with it, leading by 4 points. Reba away for Trindle. Good hit up from Steve Trindle. Some hit ups for the match now. Fritz, they're getting some value from Darren Fritz today. He was a little disappointing against Manly. Here is more. Short pass for Trindle. Right on halfway. And last tackle. Taylor is there. And with it now, Jason Taylor again attacked by Mackay when he got the football. Back will come Wayne Clifford. Really stretching out across field, Wayne Clifford. Now straightens up. And taken by Billy Moore. And Greg Florimo is back out there. Paul McGregor. He's put in the second half as the Steelers have found themselves in trouble. John Cross. Cram. Cross again. Tunbridge. Robinson. Barrett. This is Bristow. They're not running with the same venom as they were in the first half right now, the Steelers. Robinson. A dummy to Mackay. Wider there for Timmins. In turn, dummies to Clifford. But the North Sydney defence is able to spread and make the play. Last tackle for the Steelers. Callaway is back on. Barrett is with it. Barrett for Mackay. That was almost forward. Reeves attacking on the last. Bristow for McGregor. Throws the pass on the outside. Horville had angled back in field. Oh, his winger had come back inside. McGregor saying, where were you?
Well, he was running out of space, wasn't he, McGregor? And the winger decided the best thing was to go back inside. But they ran that on the 5th and very nearly came up with a try. Here it is now, McGregor. He sort of runs his man out of space. Had he have stayed there, he probably would have scored a try, though.
North Sydney. With it is Horder. Now Reba for Fritz. Good to see him just running straight.
Oh, he's really put the hand up today, Darren Fritz, and it's always good to play against your former clubs. You leave clubs for one reason or another. He's had a big game today, Darren Fritz.
And now a chance, Billy Moore away for Williams there, stretching out for Butner. They've got them turned round, inside for Sears. Cut down in the tackle of Callaway, but they're at 6s and 7s. Last tackle, McGregor was running back onside. He kept out of the play, and it'll just be a turnover.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if McGregor, who was offside, was calling for that ball. If he was, it should have been a North Sydney penalty. But there's plenty of red in both these jumpers today, and he's just got mixed up. But I reckon McGregor's just said, hey, Mark.
25 out from their own line, Illawarra. Surviving that play, but all of a sudden, they're the ones that have to make the play. Reeves is with it.
Well, they need someone to inspire them, don't they? It's been a pretty ordinary second half from the Steelers. Is it going to be Timmins? Will it be McGregor? They need someone.
5 short of halfway. Callaway working here for Barrett. Trying to get the defence in 2 minds. McGregor's getting plenty of possessions. It's play on here, kicked through by Barrett. Sears has to turn around and chase. He's under a little more pressure than what he thought to begin with. Taken by Dean Callaway. Oh, that's ended up, well, it wasn't a set move, surely, but that's ended up a golden play for the Steelers.
Yeah, stroke of luck there for the Steelers. Callaway's limping. It's probably why he hasn't seen much field time. McGregor takes the ball up, tries to flick one out. It comes off a North Sydney player, then it's kicked through by the Steelers with Barrett. And a good chase in the end by Callaway.
And Callaway off the field. He'd only been back on for a couple of minutes. This game turns again. Sears probably, in hindsight, he would have loved to have just attacked that ball from the moment it was kicked through. He thought, well, what's going on here? Are they going to call it back for a knock-on? And just that instant cost him probably a couple of seconds. Cross away with Barrett for Bradstreet. 25 out from the North Sydney line. They trail by 4, though, the Steelers, after they led by 10. Robinson, Barrett, inside for McGregor. Away there from Stewart, who tried to make a flying tackle. Fritz and Reba were there to stop McGregor. Robinson, then Barrett, now Timmins. Timmins, strong effort. Not able to offload though. Butner was there over the top to lock up the ball. 10 out. Trent Barrett. Here is the pass for Mackay, who's dropped it. Knock on both ways.
Oh, yeah, good chance there for the Steelers, but once again, their handling lets them down. First of all, it was North Sydney in the first half with their poor handling. Now the Steelers have got the disease running with the win.
Scrum 10 metres out from the North Sydney line. Again today we'll have the Nokia man of the match. $1,000 in the Nokia 8110 mobile phone for the best on ground. Should mention the crowd here today as well. Just over the 8,000 mark. 8,319 the crowd at Bear Park on Easter Saturday. And they may well come up with the right result, but it certainly didn't look like that at half-time. Moore. It was an uninspiring, flat, ordinary performance by the Bears in the first half, and they'd be the first to admit that. Moore, maybe just cramping up a little. Now Stewart gets them over the 40-metre line. Inside the final 5 minutes now. Reba, Taylor steps outside the 40 to kick. Straight down the centre of the park. Reeves is with it. Can they manufacture a long-range try? Reeves held up by Florimo. Gee, he's going to be hard to toss for man of the match. Relentless today, Greg Florimo. Clifford away from Moore and held up by Aiken. Moore comes again. Billy Moore, 20 tackles for the match. Equal with Greg Florimo. Now McGregor. Short pass for Mackay. He's lost it again. The Steelers tow it through, but it's back for the knock-on at the 40-metre line.
Well, the game's been there for the taking. You shouldn't lose from having a 14-4 lead at half-time and playing good football. But things have not gone their way. The anguish for Brad Mackay, who's had a very good game for the Steelers today.
North Sydney with Butner. Caruana stepping into the tackle of Barrett. And that injury loss too of Wishart and Rodwell. It's a heavy price for the Steelers. Here's Billy Moore. 35 out from the Steelers line. Looking to seal this match altogether. Trindle the short pass for Florimo. Now 25 out. Reba. To Williams. Now Taylor. Butner. Looking to get on the outside of Robinson. Held up by Timmins. But they're applying the pressure right now from dummy half down the blind side. The ball dribbles out the back. It's play on for the Bears. Last tackle. Will they try that cross-field kick again? Taylor. Aiken is standing wide. He looks to kick right through the centre. There's plenty of Bears jumpers there. It bounces loose. Aiken will get there first. Did he force it? It's going to be no try. Oh, they've blown that one.
Well, that would have wrapped it up for the Bears, but a couple of minutes to go and the Steelers in possession. Benny Aiken had to dive on it, but he got a push in the back there. En route. And, well, they missed that. The touch judge and the ref. What can the Steelers do?
Well, still on. Less than a couple of minutes remaining in this match. Robinson. Across with Barrett. He almost loses the football. Reeves. Now a chance. McGregor. Trying to stand up harder. He's done that. McGregor and Aiken. Now a chance for the Steelers. Hormel. Hormel with a try line will score. What a try to Illawarra. The passes from McGregor. Then Bristow. And then Hormel to score. It's 18-all. A kick to come, but it'll be from adjacent to the posts.
Oh, it's a miracle. I know it's Easter. But this is ridiculous. It's a miracle comeback from the Steelers. They were gone. Down and out. Here's the ball coming out wide. It's coming out through a good pass. There's a freeze play there. And look at McGregor. He's running straight into space out here. And away, oh, it's a bit squiggly. But away we go. Roll it on. No wonder they don't give me go Friday nights. And McGregor's away. Gets through. Taylor dropped off from defence. or was it Sears? And the last-ditch tackle on Horval. Never heard of him, but he's a hero.
Well, Brendan Horval is the try scorer, and McGregor's been the man we've been looking to all second half. He's been threatening, but you go back through this try and then you think to 30 seconds earlier, I can almost scored at the other end, which would have wrapped up the match for the Bears. But here is Horval, young Brendan's finest moment in first-grade football. Now the kick, it's Sean Timmins, a left footer, he's missed it! Don't believe it! Sean Timmins has missed it from beside the uprights.
It's a Barry.
With Wishart off the field, they went to a second-choice kicker who couldn't have put in a worse kick if he tried.
Oh, that'll do, mate. Oh, you got to feel for him.
He was 10 metres off the green and he's chipped right and over the green.
Oh, well, these things happen.
Well, the siren's about to sound. In fact, there'll be no restart. It's a draw.
Full time in first grade.
Well, what a dramatic finish to the game. 18 all, the Bears and the Steelers.